A beautiful day here in Indiana, PA. The sun is shining. We're on the way to 48 degrees. Probably, I'm just guessing, going to be a little bit warmer than that for the Pirates today in Fort Myers. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hi, Todd. Good to talk to you.
It's good to talk with you again as well. You've been down there watching the Buccos for a couple of weeks. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, I think of so many people that their lifetime dream is to watch the Pirates in spring training in person. And, most of us can't make the time or don't have the means to get down here, and maybe when you retire or something, you save up or you have a little bit more time and you can come down. But it's such a gift to be able to do this every year, and I really enjoy watching. I love watching just being out here in the environment, but also watching the young players. Sometimes they surprise you and they come up and do some good things. So that's part of the fun too.
Well, you've been able to watch some of those young players here, and of course we're getting more and more familiar with O'Neal Cruz and what an amazing physical specimen he is, and the ball player he has the potential to become. But then you've got guys like Nick Gonzalez, who was just sent out yesterday. Cal Mitchell, who had some quality time with the Pirates. He went down to Indianapolis yesterday as well. And then you get Henry Davis and Andy Rodriguez. The Buccos are stocked in the minors, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of players that have the potential of being outstanding major league players. And I think that's what really excites me about the Pirates is that, in the coming years, you're going to get more and more of this. I mean, we saw Cruz come up last year in a very short time, was a good player. And, yeah, I think you're right, Todd. I mean, he has an opportunity to be one of the very best players in baseball and could be for a long time. Now, we've heard that about some guys, and sometimes it doesn't amount to much, and then sometimes it does. So, but he is special. He's a different animal than any of these guys that you mentioned too. But you need more than one guy. I mean, you look at the Angels; they've got Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and they don't make the playoffs. So you have to have a number of different guys be good or above average at their positions to be a playoff team, and then to advance in the playoffs, and then ultimately to win a World Series. So the Pirates have a lot of candidates for that. You mentioned Henry Davis, number one pick a couple of years ago, a catcher. Andy Rodriguez, another catcher. He led the minor leagues in OPS last year on base plus slugging, which gives you an idea of what kind of hitter he is. And both are good catchers, and those guys are going to start the year in the minor leagues, but we could see one or both by the end of this year. This is where the Pirates are at now is there's a number of different positions. Well, they've got multiple guys that look very, very good at being able to play those positions. So they brought in the veterans. Those guys will hold the fort down, and if some young guys are stepping up and they're going to take their jobs away, the Pirates don't mind that. And if not, then okay. They're going to provide leadership and solidifying presence in the lineup or in the rotation or out of the bullpen, and that's fine too. So it's a nice coalescence right now, I think, of the veteran player teaching the younger guy, and the younger guy saying, well, thanks for the information. I'm just going to speed right past you now. Thank you.
I want to talk in a couple of moments about Roansy Contreras coming back from the World Baseball Classic and how good that must have been for him. But I want to talk about a young guy with a bat in his hands named Travis Swaggerty. And he's turned some heads in this spring training. And a lot of people would say he's finally turning some heads in this spring training. I don't know that he's going to make the team, but he could be a pretty valuable addition to the Pirates at some point this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I think when you're a first-round pick like he was, the finally, he's 25, and you say, well, where's he been? Well, it's been injury. 2020, no one played in the minor leagues. 21 came out of the gate slowly and then didn't really put together much of a season. And last year was just hurt for a good bit of the year, and same thing in 21, a little bit of the year. This year he's come in, he's healthy. He's also, I think, if we remember back into our 20s, especially our early and mid-20s, okay, get it through your head. So one of the things he's done is in his off-season workouts, I'm going to do baseball-centric exercises that the team tells me to do instead of just, as he put it, do my meathead workouts. You can look great at the beach, but what is that going to do for your profession? So I think he's kind of figured that out too. And boy, he looks lightning. the ball comes off his bat special, and it's a lot of what the Pirates probably saw when they took him in the first round a few years back. So I think that's interesting because if he plays like this, he's one of the Pirates' better players right now. Now, it's spring training, and so whether a guy's doing great, whether a guy is falling flat on his face in spring training, we always caution. And these are usually against minor league pitchers or the wind's blowing all around like crazy and things like that. We do caution that a little bit. But hey, a guy's playing well, that's telling you something. So I think he will factor into the Pirates, whether it's on March 30th in Cincinnati or at some point this season, because he's played well in the field too.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, the World Baseball Classic going on. David Bednar and his USA team, they're in the final. And now after their game last night, I know that has to be a thrill for him, and the Pirates players are watching that and saying, oh, yeah, let's go get one for David. Roansy Contreras just got back and was able to get into a game yesterday for the Pirates. When a young guy like that plays against World Baseball Classic competition and plays against some of the top guys and with some of the top guys on his team, that can only help.
Yeah, and then Luis Ortiz also got to play on that team. He's going to pitch today for the Pirates against the Red Sox in the spring training game in Fort Myers. But, Roansy, 3 scoreless yesterday in the Pirates game. And he was talking about Sandy Alcantara, the Cy Young Award winner who pitches for Miami. He was his teammate, and he was so eager to meet him and sit down next to him and talk with him. And you mentioned David Bednar, who got to go to the All-Star game last year. And he was just a sponge talking to all the different pitchers in the clubhouse around the All-Star week. And then now this experience with all the great players on Team USA, and he's trying to learn and you know that Bednar is just such a big team guy anyway, so he's having so much fun there, and hopefully breaks home the title for the U.S. All this that's going on, whether it's the veteran players that have run into Pirates camp, the World Baseball Classic with Roansy Contreras or Luis Ortiz or David Bednar. Younger players that are getting this kind of experience, this helps. They're already talented. Let's mold that talent into really effective, above average, maybe even star players at the major league level. And all 3 of those guys that I mentioned have the capability of being all-stars. One already has been. So that's what's going to make the Pirates a winning team, is these younger players that have talent, realizing that talent and winning for the Pirates. You
bet. Hey, Joe, is the family with you down there this year so far?
They have been. Yeah, they're back home now, so they're getting ready for spring, and I got kids in school now, so we got an excuse now for a couple of weeks down here, which was great to have a lot of fun down here, but they're back home now.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. What is the typical evening after all the baseball's done for Joe Block? What do you like to do?
Well, I mean, when the family's here, we'll go get some ice cream or something.
There you go.
We could go out to the beaches and play in the pool and just have fun and things like that. But these days, the last 10 days of spring training, I'm getting ready for the season. So a lot of preparation, just reading up on what's going on and really starting to put my nose to the grindstone a little bit. So that's the fun part of this job, is I get to do a lot of different things like that.
There you go. It's spring training for announcers too. Joe Block, thanks so much for spending some time with us today.
I always enjoy it, Todd. Talk to you again soon.
All right. Bye-bye. There's Joe. Joe Block and the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're on the air this afternoon, as a matter of fact, the Buccos at 1 o'clock as they take on the Boston Red Sox.